Adversity 2. This really happened. I don't regret none of the decisions that I made. I had to. I remember when I first entered into this facility after being processed, I was tired. And I went and dived on the bunk. As soon as I landed, the MP said, "Get up!" I thought, what's wrong? He said, "You can't lay down yet." So I went over and sat on the floor. He said, "Get up!" I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You can't sit on the floor." So I stood up and leaned against the wall. And he said, "Get off the wall." I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You can't lean on the wall." So I went in the middle of the floor and squatted down. He told me, "You don't lay on the bed, you don't sit on the floor, you don't touch the wall. You don't go to bed until we tell you to." And I thought, well, let's see how this is going to work out. Welcome to the military compound at Fort Hood. I was getting to the point where I had lost focus. I had lost focus of what I was planning to get through this situation. I lost focus. So I began to refocus on who to watch out for and how to keep from getting written up. It didn't take much for you to get written up, and when you get written up, you get more time, or you stay there longer. I'm trying to avoid that. But there were a few people that had chips on their shoulders. And I'm trying my best to be careful. There's sometimes that just didn't happen. I was so fed up. I said, I am out of here. You say, were you going to get released? No. I was leaving on my own. They had trusted me so much, they would leave my cell door open. The guards had gotten so used to me being quiet, they began to leave my cell door open. And every now and then I would have to yell down the hallway, "Cadre, you left my cell open!" And he would simply turn back and say, I'll get it later. So they began to trust me. I began to sweep the hallways with the large long dust broom. They began to let me come out of my cell and take a push broom and begin to sweep the hallways. From there, they began to let me go off into the dark to dump trash. And I thought, this is a mistake. I'm out of here. Going back and forth down the hallways. But then they allowed me to go out and dump the trash, which was out of their sight, which was a major mistake. There was a train that passed that compound a few times during the week, so I timed it. And there was a fence by the trash area that I could scale. I knew I could move fast, but between the train and me were two dogs. At least I heard two dogs. Whether they were guard dogs, I don't know. All I know is anytime I got close to that dumpster, I heard these dogs barking very viciously. So I'm wondering, I need to outrun these dogs, and I'm good. At one point, I was getting a little irritated. Some of those soldiers were sitting there with no clue how long they're going to be there. Stuck. No court date, no date to see the magistrate. You're just sitting there. When I got to that point, I said to myself, I'm not sitting here. I have to be moving. I need to be doing something. I need to get out of here. I'm over this fence. I'm out of here. I'm so glad that didn't happen. Somebody called my name and told me to get ready. Get information. You're being transferred. I changed my mind. Diversity too. This really happened. Before I could get my thoughts together, someone called me and told me they're going to release you. And I did not get excited because I know all the games. I took my time. I grabbed all of my, I had my duffel bag forward, all of my belongings, and I stood in formation with some more soldiers. Keep in mind, we're still soldiers. They called my name. And they told us that we were getting overpopulated. We need to transfer some of you to Fort Ord, California. I had never heard of Fort Leavenworth, where it's a military prison. That's the first time I ever heard of that. Someone had mentioned that. But I'm not going to prison for life. I'm here protesting. I'm here, I'm training, I'm learning, I'm getting experience. Why are all these soldiers in here? And why is it 95% black men? That didn't add up to me. We drove on those buses. I think there was about 2 or 3 buses. And we were told, don't anybody try to jump out of these windows while we're in transit. You will be taken care of. Putting it mildly. We drove all night. And we did not see one sign saying California. Somebody yelled out, "Hey, that sign says Kansas." And we were wondering, why are we going to Kansas? When we finally got to Kansas, I never seen so many drill sergeants, even in my first basic training in South Carolina. They surrounded those buses. There were these huge gates that opened up. The buses drove in. Out of all of those soldiers, guess who name they called? Yours truly. Get off that bus right now. Call me by my name. And the soldiers turned and looked at me. Do they know you? So I figured they called from Texas to let them know bad boys on the way. I get off the bus. Keep in mind, we're in our dress uniforms, our suits, and our ties, and our dress shoes, and sure. I come out off the bus and stand in front of these sergeants, drill sergeants. Why am I standing in front of drill sergeants? What's going to happen now? They begin to yell and scream at me. Told me to put my duffel bag on my back, and when I blow my whistle, you take off running. When I blow it a second time, you jump down and you do push-ups until I blow it again. Do you understand? I said, no, sir. He said, when I blow my whistle, you take off running. And when I blow it again, you get down and do push-ups until you hear it again. I said, no, sir. The young man that saw me do this was standing next to me. He responded to them also. No, sir. I'm not doing it either. They said, okay. Bad fellas, bad fellas. Everybody else, all of you soldiers, go to town. Go take a shower and relax. You too. You too. Stand right there. And we did. We stood for a long time. We stood for a long time. It got dark. I was watching those soldiers go back and forth. They were eating, they were taking showers, they were relaxing, they were talking, they were congregating, and we got two clowns standing here being rebellious. They told us, listen, you have a choice. You can get processed through here and graduate, or you can continue to prison, and that's where you will stay. We stood there. Finally, I was getting tired all over again. I got to get out of here. I have to have an angel. My guardian angel is here. Everybody has an angel, from what I hear. I came to my senses. I told my friend, go knock on the door and tell him I changed my mind. He said, no, you go do it. So I did. Drill sergeant opened the door and said, can I help you? I said, sir, I changed my mind. He said, good. Good decision. This man goes back into his office, goes upstairs, climbs out on the roof, and grabs his whistle and said, listen, put that duffel bag on your back. And when you hear the whistle, you take off running. And when you hear it again, you get down and you do push-ups until you hear it again. Do you understand? I said, yes, sir. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. That man blew his whistle and blew his whistle. I'm running. I'm doing push-ups. I'm running. I'm doing push-ups. Then he realized, okay, y'all can go and shower and y'all can go and eat. In the process of running back and forth, the young man that was being rebellious with me had tripped and failed. I kept running. Now he wants to argue with me that you are showing off. You making me look bad. No, sir. I'm just getting through this process and getting out of here. And I went on about my business. The rest of the Joe at Fort Riley, Kansas is going through stuff in my 20s. And I was quiet and kept to myself, but some things you just have to come out of your shell to take care of business. And I did. And I'm glad I did, because I don't like being oppressed and depressed and suppressed. And I have to be moving. I have to be creative. I have to be doing stuff. To be in that situation, something has to happen. You either grow or stay still. I wanted to grow. But At Fort Riley, they had counselors, they had training, they had so many classes. And their job was to get you refocused, get you processed, and get you on your way back into your duty station or transferred, whatever you were trying to do. They ask you when you get there, what are you trying to accomplish? And they help you work toward those goals. And that's what they did. I graduated. And this tall gentleman, he was a captain. I never seen him before or after. He came up to me, called me by my name. Someone's always watching you. And congratulated me, getting a high score. And he was saying, great job. Congratulations on your future military assignments. He disappeared. I never saw him again. But that was some experience. Adversity too. This really happened. Adversity too. Prayer really works. Adversity too. This really happened.